What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Currently stuck in traffic. I've got the traffic jam assist running, so let's talk about the infotainment of the 2023 Honda Accord Touring Hybrid. Touring only matters in the infotainment system simply because it gives you 3 additional things on top of the other hybrid trims to where you get the same system, which is 1, Google Assistant that also gives you Google Maps. They're not running otherwise. If I do have an address put in, it will also show up in the heads-up display there. But going back to the infotainment, Google Assistant's 1. Second is your Amazon Alexa there, which I have no idea what it's going to do. Probably similar to what Siri and Google Assistant does. I have no intentions of trying. I will never try that. Third differentiating factor would be the Bose sound system, which is the only thing I really like about this infotainment system when it comes to what it offers. It offers a lot, it seems like, but half of it is useless, quite frankly. Okay, I get it. There is phone, there is this, that, but that's if you connect to Bluetooth. Otherwise, you're just going to have the CarPlay be plugged in or, wirelessly using that, so you don't really need that. My biggest annoyance, if you can't spot this, especially in the daylight, you will in nightlight, is the icons that show up that aren't on the page. So it is with the UI UX design of this particular infotainment, which is supposedly you have to have only 8 icons up here, right? But look at the other 2 edging right into it. As I go into the second page, you have the exiting 2 showing up here, and then the remaining 2 that are from the other screen will populate here. The reason you have some that are blocked off is because the car is actually being driven right now, so those are not going to open up. But otherwise, it's fast, the feedback is there. But look at that, like, I'm not ever going to use the clock feature to always be displayed. They have a whole button for the night light display mode, like the brightness of that. So all in all, it's okay. I like the size of it, sure, but my annoyance is the helper screen, because it also has useless information. And the reason I say useless from my perspective as to what I would like to see here, which is not the helper screen, because what is it helping me with? Like, I don't really need to see power flow like that at all times. If I ever wanted to look at my range, I can just go in here and pull up the same screen here, which is that, right? The car is in econ mode. I've only been driving for like maybe 2 miles or so. Anyways, from here, you can't really move this. So anytime you're using any of the native apps of Honda, you're going to have the helper screen show up. If you go into CarPlay, only then it expands to the entire real estate of the screen. You only have the panel buttons on the side, which is fine. I like this view. If we go in this view here, you have the entire CarPlay show up as well. I typically don't keep it in this view simply because it's just too much for some apps to be showing at 12.3 screen. I keep it in this view, but watch what I do. If I minimize this, the helper screen comes up, but it borders it nicely. So you have the curved edges over there, which means that it doesn't look like an afterthought when it does if you go to this mode. You could see the icons edging in. It doesn't look clean. It just looks untidy. So if this was something that was on purpose, it's stupid. Quite frankly, it's simply stupid because it looks untidy. 2, if this was never looked at, I think this should be looked at in the refresh model or whenever they continue to bring this screen forward. I think this particular screen and this particular style is only reserved for the Accords in the current Honda lineup. But if they plan on bringing this into the CRVs of this 24 years as they're rolling out, even though 24s are out, but they sometimes do a mid-year refresh, so they might include this, that. But overall, the connectivity of it is fine. I did experience the freezing of Apple CarPlay once. It was completely blacked out of a screen, no response, just the cute little haptic feedback was coming back, but CarPlay wasn't showing up on the screen. I used to experience that in my previous Accord as well, but that was a plug and play, so I would plug, unplug 18 times, and 19th time it would show up. If it wouldn't, then you would turn the car off and turn it back on. It basically revives everything. I had to do the same thing with this because it basically is my OCD. If in the middle of my driving, system stopped working, I'm going to pull over and I am going to shut the car off and turn it back on. Any other annoyance with the screen? Not really. I haven't really used too many things that it offers because I feel like a lot of it is just redundant information. So don't really need that. You will use the screen the first time you get the car to configure a lot of car settings, such as, you know, your lock, unlock, your headlights, things like that, all will be configured from here in like the vehicle setting, which is right now blanked out because I'm driving. Otherwise, pretty typical. If you go in trip computer, it just shows this, and you can do trip A, trip B. I do wish that somewhere on the screen it would show if I switch the car into the EV mode. I would love for it to show that, hey, this is how much range you can have on if you're driving pure EV versus your regular hybrid situation. So not that, maybe I don't know how to look at that yet, and I haven't played with it just yet, but if that was the case, then I'd like to, you know, get into that. Overall, you have Google Maps built in because this is a touring model, so it gives you that here. Nice, quick feedback, quick response, good resolution for what it is. I don't know the exact resolution here, but otherwise it's decent. I've only used it once to try out how does this appear here and then on the heads up there. So just a few things there. Otherwise, is this a solid screen? To what I'm using it for, sure. But does it have its shortcomings? Absolutely, because a lot of the info that it's giving us is kind of useless. So let me know what you think, if you've played with it, if you have any questions about it. But my only highlight of this is truly Apple CarPlay, which is wireless. I used to have in my previous car, which is wired, and then 2, the Bose sound system. Those are the only 2 things I love this stereo system for, or the infotainment. Otherwise, it's just another screen with a bunch of apps, mostly native apps, and then I don't really think I would use any other app from the you know, Honda store, if they even offer that. Let me know your thoughts on this. And you have the volume knob. One thing I want to mention about this, in my previous Accord, as you folks know, it was the 2016. That was the one that, or I should say the one that took away the knob. So I was used to, you know, using the slider or on the steering wheel. Here, if you change the volume from here, it shows up on the screen. But if you change the volume from your steering control, it shows up here. Not in both places, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just mentioning it. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you very much for helping me, you know, put out a video of if 7-8 minutes while I'm stuck in traffic. Got me something to do. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for watching. I'll continue to bring more car reviews to you folks. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.